Hey, I'm Derek Halpern, you're watching Social Triggers, and today I'm going to answer a question from a Social Triggers reader. A reader wrote in and asked, I don't understand. I have tons of friends on Facebook, even more following me on Twitter, and a bunch of people on my email list, all who seem to love my content. And yet, when I post my product on my Facebook page, my Twitter page, or send out an email to my list, buy this now, you'll thank me later, no one listens. If they already like me and trust me, then why doesn't my product sell? Well, that's actually a great question. I've heard this story before, and the real question is, why do I have to sell my products and services? Why don't they just sell themselves? Well, that's what I'm going to cover in this video, so keep watching. Here's the deal. No matter what you do, you've got to sell other people on it. Whether you're trying to help people get in shape, or you develop some of the world's best software products, or even if you're working for a company and you're trying to get promoted, you've got to sell people on it. Why? Here's a couple of reasons. First, people rarely believe that what you do is as awesome as you believe it is. It's true for me, and it's true for you. Well, it's not really true for me. I'm Derek Halpern. All right, let's get real. This idea that you believe your stuff is better than other people think it is actually backed up by psychological research. In one of Dan Ariely's books, he writes about college students making origami. Horrible origami. Yet when he asked those students how much they would sell that origami for, they priced their work much higher than anyone would be willing to pay for it. Why? Because they valued their work more than other people did. That's just fact. Sure, there are some people out there who hang on our every word and buy whatever it is we sell, but that's not usually the case. When I released my first training course, some people bought it without even looking at the sales page because they already knew and trusted me. But not very many people did that. The majority of my sales came from people who didn't find what I did nearly as awesome as I did, so I had to sell them on it. Taking this back to you, I'm sure you take pride in your work. I'm sure you think it's so awesome that it speaks for itself. You think you should be able to just say, buy my stuff, and people will listen. Heck, I want to do that. But it doesn't work like that. Some people might listen and buy your product or service without hesitation, but most people won't. You have to sell them on it. Second, people tend to believe that what you have, while it might work for other people, won't work for them. So someone struggling to lose weight comes across your personal training site as an example, and they think, there's no way that this can work for me. Or someone who thinks they deserve a raise at work reads your article about how to negotiate a raise and thinks, you don't know my boss, he's different. They think that their world is different from everybody else. They think their problems are unique. They think their situation is unique. And while that may be the case, most people use this sort of thinking as like an excuse. And the only way to bust through that excuse is to sell them on your solution. But how? First, forget about the idea that your product and services will sell itself, because they won't. You've got to do the selling. You've got to do the marketing. Think about it. When Apple releases a new iPhone, do they just say, hey, new iPhone? Not really. They actually do a long product demonstration where they show you how amazing their new product is and all their new product features. Ever notice how I use a ton of examples in all my content and training? I always talk about how it applies to web designers or corporate workers or freelancers or writers or editors. I do this continuously to mitigate the thought that you might think your situation is different and you might believe my solution won't work for you. You have to do the same thing. You need to work on providing specific examples so it's impossible for your readers to believe that their situation is different and to believe that your solution won't help them. Third, you gotta stop worrying about being so pushy. Seriously. A friend of mine launched a book recently and he sent out just one email to his list. That's it. One email. The dude spent a ton of time writing a book and he was only planning on sending one email. Look, when you're selling your ideas, products, and services, you should take what I call the poker approach. Here's how it works. The world's best poker players don't play that many hands of poker. They play very few hands, actually. Sometimes as little as one hand per hour. However, The hands they do play, they play aggressively, fighting tooth and nail for each chip in that pot. Now, ever notice how I sell on social triggers? I don't pitch products that often, but when I do, I pitch hard. You should do the same exact thing. Focus on creating value first and foremost. And every once in a while, when you want to sell what you do or what you created, you should sell it hard. And then give your readers a break by resorting back to the usual programming, the good content that they've become accustomed to. Now, here's a quick recap. You value your work more than your prospects do. Your prospects always assume that their situations are unique and your solutions won't work for them. How do you overcome these problems? You must realize that creating a good product or service is the cost of entry, and to succeed, you've got to sell it. You must provide examples that show your prospects that what you do applies to them. You need to eliminate the "I'm scared to be pushy" mantra as well. The trick is, don't be pushy all the time, be pushy at the right time. Did you pick up a tip or two while watching this video? Subscribe to my channel and leave a comment below this video letting me know what you think about selling to your audience. What types of problems did you have? What types of things are you going to overcome now? Share that below. I'll read every single one of them. And if you're not on the Social Triggers mailing list, you really should be. So sign up. Go to socialtriggers.com, enter your name and email into the form, and press get updates, and you'll get more videos just like this one. Whether you're trying to help get people in shape, develop some of the best software beeps,